Alright, ladies and gentlemen, what the fuck is going on? I'm currently uploading a video, and this is probably gonna go on first. It's like 12:11 right now, a.m. And I was at work, and I just got a fucking call from my wife saying she smelled smoke from downstairs, and she thinks it's from an outlet in one of our boys' rooms, Owen's rooms. And that, you know, she had a fire truck on the way. So I'm rushing home right now. I know I seem a little depolarized and I don't seem like I care very much, but you know, once again, if you are in a sympathetic state of being and all irrational and all fucked up, and what the fuck is that gonna do? How is that gonna help my family right now? They're probably in the back of a fire truck right now. A fire truck's investigating, you know. Technically that little side room isn't supposed to be a bedroom anyway, so we'll probably get shit for that and maybe some fines for the wiring, you know. But it's a good case scenario because no one got hurt, no one got harmed. So once again, you know, I can bounce back from, oh my god, this is such a travesty, to holy fucking nugget fines, we have a fire in this one. You know, neither one of those are going to serve me or do any good. These firemen are doing a job, and you know, if they don't find people for having shit up to code, then people will cut corners everywhere, and then people will die from not having their house up to code. So people have to get fines and talk about how they got fines and be, you know, a little pissed off about it, but understand at the same time so shit doesn't go wrong and cut corners and go sideways. Right now I'm on the way to get a lighter because my lighter stopped working. But just so you know, when I was at work today too, I didn't check the amount of weight that my tray was when I have to dump metal out into the garbage, right? So I didn't check them out, and I know from being trained on many forklifts that you can only go so high with a forklift before it gets unsafe or it's going to tip over, something to that effect. So, you know, I almost tipped over today. Luckily, I didn't raise it while I was driving and pivot or anything like that, because I would have flipped over, and I didn't even have my fucking seatbelt on, to be completely honest. I told the guys that, like, holy fuck, man, I almost died just now. And because what happened was I was in front of the fucking dumpster, and when I tipped into the dumpster, and it stopped it for the whole machine from tipping right over. With me no seatbelt on, I would have totally smashed my head on the steel. I had my hard hat on, so that would have stopped something, but you know, necks could have cracked and other things could happen. So, you know, I was thankful to the gods and myself and my subconscious for having, you know, the foresight to do things properly instead of completely wrong. As soon as the bitch started going up, I put my seatbelt on, and then, you know, I get a call that my house might be on fire and shit like that. So one could assume that, you know, I'm cursed, this and that and the other thing, but in all honesty, I don't think it's that. I think, you know, before I went to work today, I said, fuck, I don't want to go to work, babe. You know, everything from my own subconscious finding ways for me to come back home to just negligence on, you know, the electrician's part that came to my house to do electrical work recently. Could have been the cause of it. Could be my son Owen fucking out with that light, pulling on that light over and over and over and over again can loosen the wires. And you know, they don't tell you this, but I think it's like a huge percent of the fires happen from the faulty wiring that over time, whenever they're no longer connected or there's loose connection, there's sparks that give off. And we collect dust daily. If that dust particle is around some dry ass fucking wood, it doesn't take much to start a fucking fire. And you know, there's no ifs, ands, or buts around that. A lot of cigarette fires that people think are started because of cigarette fires, if you really look into the investigation, you most of the time see, I forget the name of it. Recently someone talked about this to me, I had no idea. I looked it up, and sure enough, he was right. But there's a word for whenever it's faulty wiring or damage of wiring over time. They have a word for that happens. So that's probably likely what's happened here, but who knows. Anyways, I'll show you the fire trucks when I get home, and I'll upload this shit just so you can understand that, you know, you don't have to be polarized. And depolarized is the best state to be in, especially during tragedies, because now I can deal with my family and be calm, and they can be calm at the same time, so they don't worry about it. Yeah, the only thing I am worried about is my dog that ran upstairs. She was in the kitchen, but when it all happened, she ran upstairs to the room because that's where she's more comfortable and hides. And I can't go in the house to get her when I get there. But you know, I'll whistle and I'll probably get her out. And I don't want the you know, them to have to do anything harsh to my animal because she's trying to protect herself and her family, and she feels threatened. So that's the one. That's probably the thing I'm worried about the most. We have the cat out already, and my oldest son and his friend were there, but they walked to his house. So, you know, it is what it is, and we'll deal with it when I get there, and maybe I'll keep this on for you guys, but who knows, right? This is why I can tape about it. You can be like, oh my god, he's trying to fucking, this tragedy and trying to monetize it. No, I don't monetize my fucking thing, first of all, and second of all, there's a lesson here. Do not freak out whenever things happen. Alright, so, I just had to pick up a lighter. because mine in the car wasn't working. So more of this curse that's going on with me. You know I got people that don't like me and shit like that, and I've gotten a few messages from trolls just doing stupidity, which is why the comments are actually off right now. When I first said they were going off, and you know, I didn't elaborate much on it. Well, part of the reason was this, but part of the reason was a few other things that I didn't know how to. But anyways, but from those trolls, people actually sending me a couple of fucking, you know, little stupid threats. My wife just called there just now, but anyways, there's no point in giving these motherfuckers any energy, because you know, in all honesty, that's what they're looking for. So, but you know, people's thought forms can create curses on you or come attack you and shit like that. Anything from that to, you know, myself creating this shit happen. Anyways, I'm pulling up at my house, so. Oh shit, okay. This is my driveway, and there's a fucking shit here, so you don't think I'm fucking lying. There's a fucking fireman and a fucking fighter there. Look at that shit. Alright, what's going on, everybody? So now I'm in my basement. So just so you know, the firemen have left, and it turns out it was faulty wiring. In my son's room. That's where it was. You can actually smell the smoke. So anyways, no reason to worry. Hope you enjoyed. Have a great fucking day. Out of there, but a good thing I didn't handle any kind of just material today. It was just kind of tidying up and doing shit. Anyways, just wanted to mention something real quick, but I think it's funny that my daughter, who turned 9 today, mentioned to my wife she was watching Chicago Fire with my wife, and apparently whenever the alarm started going off in the basement, my wife, it took her a minute because they were actually getting a call at the fire station on the TV that she was watching, and my daughter ended up pointing out how isn't it funny that we're watching Chicago Fire and that this happened. And you know, I've been in the kitchen and in the living room while my wife's watching that also, and listening to my own stuff or whatever I want to listen to, but it's on in the background. And, you know, to point out that TV and media actually influence our life to the point where fires can manifest in your house. I don't think I need to point out the obvious here. And the irony and the funny fucking symbolism, and you know, it just is what it is. But you know, my wife called the fire department, not 911, because she watches Chicago Fire. She also knows that fire can be invisible sometimes, and you know, so luckily, because she watches that show, she was able to, you know, act responsibly and get the kids out, because we don't just have electricity here, we have gas lines coming into the house. So, you know, you don't fuck around with fire, you get the fuck out if you think there's a fire, because it touches that gas line and boom, we're done. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out, because you could say, well, she knew a lot what to do because she watched that show, but or did that show manifest? You know, who knows? But anyways, I hope you enjoy, and yeah, watch what you watch. Don't watch Chicago Fire if you don't want your house catch on fire. Don't watch doctor shows if you don't want cancer. You know what I mean?